Welcome everyone to Monday Morning Morons for June 17th, 2019. This week, let's begin with a little I told you so, because, seriously, who doesn't like saying that? Student government denies conservative group again, citing emotional harm. You may remember this group from the May 20th Monday Morning Morons. The conservative group that was denied registered student organization status by some student senators who love the weasel words could and potential. Remember what I said then? The bad news, of course, all this really means is it goes back for another vote where you're going to get the same result again because a small butthurt minority can still vote no for whatever imaginary bullshit reason they want. So, yeah, you're still fucked. Well, here we are, as predicted. It went back to the student government for another vote, and they voted no again. Their excuses this time? The student government of Santa Clara University voted to deny the campus chapter of Young Americans for Freedom from receiving official recognition for a second time, with senators harping on emotional harm and a lack of safety for minority students that the group could cause or create. Yep. My feels based on the little weasel that could again. Same shit, different day. But oh, just wait. It's just so juicy this time. One of your focuses... Okay, typo there. One of your focuses is no threats or direct physical harm, but you do have a history of physical harm toward the LGBTQ plus community, SCU student Senator Raul Orellana told the group, according to meeting minutes obtained by Campus Reform. Which Raul went on to specify and provide evidence for, I assume. Orellana read a statement he said a student shared with him, suggesting that the statement reflected his own vote on the group. The presence of YAF would further marginalize minority students on campus, and if anything, makes minority students feel more unsafe or targeted. Orellana read from the statement. What struck me as a woman who is often labeled as an immigrant by white people, even though I was born here, is sharing inspiring stories with legal immigrants, which is very high on the initiatives list. First of all, no human is legal on stolen land. This club would not make me too safe at SCU and not proud to call myself a Bronco. Or not, I guess. Raul, seriously. I'm just going to skip over all the batshit crazy you just said there and ask for the obvious here. Where's the direct physical harm to the LGBTQIA 90210 to the infinity power squared people you just accused them of? I mean, you just sat right there and openly accused them of a crime, didn't you? You are aware that assault is a crime, I assume. Do you have any evidence to back up that accusation at all, or was it just a false accusation? Because you know what else is a crime, Raul? False accusations. Another student senator commented on conservative author Ben Shapiro, a speaker that YAF groups have shown interest in bringing to their campuses. The top underlining speaker that YAF wants to attract is Ben Shapiro, whatever, said, I'm a Muslim student. Ben Shapiro is probably one of the most Islamophobic people. If they bring him to campus, I don't want to go here anymore. Hyder said that Shapiro's speech caused emotional harm. So they might invite someone I don't like, and he might agree to come to the campus, and we all know that if Ben Shapiro comes to the campus, I'm going to be forced at gunpoint to go down there and listen to him say things I don't want to hear, so I vote no. You can't have a club because my feels and stuff. You guys are really on a roll here. As you can see, their reasons this time didn't get any better than the last time. They're still outright lying about this group, and they still vote no because they just don't like it. These folks are going to make excellent politicians in a few years, don't you think? What's next, Bob? Microaggressions professor. Not everything is a microaggression. Darrell Sue, a professor at Columbia University and one of the principal popularizers of the concept of microaggressions, recently stressed that not everything is a microaggression, and that such exchanges have to be seen in context. Yet the professor emphasized that the theory of microaggressions continues to be valuable and relevant today. So, you've seen where this theory of yours has led, and you still think it was a good one, huh? A microaggression is defined as a comment or action that subtly and often unconsciously or unintentionally expresses a prejudiced attitude toward a member of a marginalized group, such as a racial minority. Well, at least someone bothered to define it, I guess. Problem is, this definition doesn't really mean a hell of a lot. Let's take one of the most common examples making the rounds on college campuses these days. The rather simple question, where are you from? Now, that's a pretty innocuous question to ask someone you've just met, right? Nope. Microaggression. If that person happens to be black, brown, Asian, Hispanic, Pacific Islander, or just a butthurt, whiny cunt who subscribes to victim culture. See the problem with your definition yet? These people are taking offense to a question. The person asking it never gave any. You are assuming what that person is thinking when the reality is it's what you are thinking. They were simply curious where you're from. You are the one that decided that curiosity was some sort of insult about your appearance or heritage or fashion or accent or whatever. When you're a racist piece of shit, you assume everyone else is one too. Now, I don't mean to rail on Sue here, because if you keep reading, you'll find he's kind of trying to remind people that not everything is a microaggression. Context matters, and because these things are apparently unconscious, most people who commit them likely didn't mean to and probably have no idea they did. I applaud him for trying to clarify, but it's a little too little, far too late for that, I'm afraid. The nut jobs have already taken your subjective definition and run a marathon with it. So now, indeed, everything is a microaggression, whether that's what you meant or not. What's more, microaggressions have been folded into all the other power plus privilege narratives so that they can be even more racist while claiming only white people or only men or only insert whatever group they feel like demonizing today can be guilty of committing these stupid, innocuous things. And how much they hurt you is directly correlated with how high you stand on the progressive victim stack. So of course, if you want more victim cred, then microaggressions are like literally violence. What you meant is no longer relevant. This stuff has been turned into another cudgel to beat people into submission. That's all it is. All right, next one, Bob. I really don't want to talk about this stupid shit anymore. Cal Poly Coalition wants $140,000 for marginalized students because school is hard to be at. Being at college is hard, so you need to give us money. Get the fuck out of here with that. A coalition of students at California Polytechnic State University want the school to shell out, I think you mean shell out, over $140,000 to various campus identity centers so that marginalized students will feel more welcome. Student Alejandro Bupara, who identifies as mestizo, Latino, and queer, says Cal Poly is a place that's really hard for us to be at. When we come here, we are being pushed out from the start. Gee, do you think that might have anything to do with you describing yourself as some super special class of people? I mean, mestizo? I didn't even know what the fuck that was. I had to look it up. According to the Tribune, the new funding is one of two demands put forth by Bupara and others to address the lack of affordable housing, overt racism by white students, and sexual violence that disproportionately victimizes women of color and transgender people. Do you know what might help with affordable housing? All that money you're currently insisting universities keep wasting on all these special people centers and the dipshits who run them. Let's move on, Bob. This is just too obvious. Entitled pricks demanding other people's money. There's nothing more to it than that. Toxic masculinity time. Florida woman squeezed boyfriend's genitals until they bled. A Florida woman was arrested last week on allegations that she squeezed her boyfriend's testicles until they bled, police said. The alleged incident occurred on June 4th in Indian Harbor Beach, about 70 miles southeast of Orlando. Authorities responded to a call from a man who said his live-in girlfriend had assaulted him, according to a police report. The report said the woman, identified as 21-year-old Katie Lee Pitchford, had become enraged during an argument. The alleged victim, who was not identified, reportedly told the officers that Pitchford had struck him with her fists and scratched the left side of his face. An arrest affidavit cited by the Miami Herald said the man's face was bloodied and had visible bruising. The man reportedly told officers that Pitchford had grabbed him by his balls and squeezed until they bled. He told officers that after Pitchford choked him until he couldn't breathe, he managed to wrestle her away and call police, the affidavit reportedly said. Pitchford was arrested for battery and accused of violating her probation, the Sun-Sentinel reported. In the back of the patrol car, Pitchford reportedly asked to talk to the victim so she could apologize. She was detained by the Brevard County Sheriff's Office on no bond and will appear in court later this month, according to the Sun-Sentinel. So she beat him, choked him, and crushed his nuts. Yeah, sure sounds like domestic violence is a women's issue, doesn't it? Okay, Bob, give us something funny to wrap it up with. Beto O'Rourke supporters can't name any of his accomplishments. That's not really all that surprising. Most people don't know shit about the accomplishments, or lack of the people that they want to vote for. Not exactly funny either, Bob. Kind of sad, actually. What's the video? Well, I can't just play the whole video, Bob. Copyright and everything. But, okay, let me watch it real quick and come back. Okay, so I can't play the whole thing for you, but let me just piece this together so you can see what's so funny.
Beto, I think, resonates with young people because we are more aware.
What are accomplishments of Beto's that you would point to?
I mean, he's been working really hard with everything that he's been doing around Texas. Maybe he doesn't really have the platform to make a huge difference right now.
Are there any accomplishments in his career that you can point to that would make him a good person for office?
I am not aware of a lot of specific accomplishments that he has made.
Are there any accomplishments of Beto's that you would point to?
I don't know any, so I can't say anything for that.
Is there anything you can point to as things and be like, yeah, he has accomplished this?
I think he's accomplished, like, honestly getting his name out there. For not doing much, it sounds like he's really...
But it's just being popular an accomplishment, though, like career accomplishments.
I honestly couldn't point to anything. I'm just trying to, I'm not as educated as I would like to be.
Yep, you're the aware ones. That's it for this week. Remember the social justice mantra: women are victims, men are oppressors, and feminism is just about equality. I'll see you all next time.